Hi, Rising Rams. We are going to go over this week's playlist. Next week's playlist is also involved and combined with this week's playlist. So we're going to go over that briefly. We're also going to go over some Zoom expectations and we will go over your assignment today. So let's go ahead and let's begin. So when you go to Google Classrooms, you will see the third week has been posted. On the third week, you'll see the third and fourth week's playlist, the combination of both. You'll see the PowerPoint for Zoom expectations. You'll also see your assignment for the Google Form Art Survey. This Google Form Art Survey is not too long to complete, but it is very important that you do complete it. The form and the survey, they're together. They allow me to understand what type of art that you are interested in making, how you feel about art, and just a simple few more questions are involved on the Google Art form. So please go ahead and fill that out and let me know when we meet if you have any questions about that. You're also going to fill out the debrief and reflect form about the assignment and this week's lesson. So on that, we are going to begin talking about some Zoom expectations. So since you are such great Rising Rams, in the PowerPoint, I went ahead and broke down what RAM stands for in regards to art class. So on the second slide, you'll see that the R stands for respect. We should respect each other and respect the classroom space, rules, and expectations. We want to accept accountability for our actions, our behavior, and our assignments. We want to have some motivation, so come to class excited, and I'm excited to be here. And lastly, we want to have some self-control. I know it is very exciting to be back in art, but since there are a few of us in class, we need to make sure that we're respecting each other's time and each other's learning styles. So just making sure that we are kind of in check and controlling what we are able to do. So some Zoom expectations. Log on time. So be on time. Log on a few minutes before class. Make sure you're wearing appropriate clothing and be in camera view. It's really hard to learn the tops of people's heads if I can't see them. So make sure you're just simply in camera view. Raise your hand if you'd like to speak, and I will then call on you or type a question in the chat box to me. Find a quiet place. I know it is kind of difficult learning from home, so if you can, try to find a quiet place and check your surroundings. Make sure you mute yourself when you're entering the Zoom meeting, and make sure that you're muting yourself when I'm talking or another student is talking. Please try to speak clearly and look into the camera when speaking, and stay on topic. If we have some free time, we might be able at the end of the lesson to talk about other things, but since we have a limited amount of time, we want to make sure that we are talking about the objectives in the art lesson plan. Please make sure your computer is charged. I know it's a long day to have your computer plugged in, but try to at least charge it before class, somewhat in the middle, maybe at lunch if you're eating, or that it's charged before your class. Make sure that your camera is on so I can see your beautiful shining faces. Let's have some participation, so be focused, be attentive, and be an active participant. Let's be respectful, all right? So let's make sure that we are, I know we've gone over it for the last 2 weeks, but that also is really important to incorporate that every day on what that looks like in an art room setting. And be considerate. Let's be kind. Let's make sure we're only saying positive things, because it's really important to treat somebody how you want to be treated. So let's have some fun and create. So if you look at the playlist, you can see there are some awesome words. We will go over more of those words next week when we talk about the Artist of the Month. So, speaking about the Artist of the Month is featured in this month's newsletter. So, next week we will learn more about our special artist. This artist contains lots of really interesting artwork, lots of interesting facts, and we're going to talk more about the vocabulary next week. So this week, you can reflect and recite your favorite art medium to use in visual art class. That's one question on the art survey. You can use your own words to describe what you would like to learn in visual art class. And when you fill out the debrief and reflect form, you are also going to restate one thing that you learned or have questions about from this week's lesson plan. So, in the Google Slides, you will see that there are anchor charts I've made for this lesson. So that means when you open up the playlist under Level 1, Learn About It, you just click the link that says Review the Anchor Charts made for this lesson. And then there is a direct link to the Zoom expectations, the ones that I just went over. And you're going to finally practice and familiarize yourself on how to get into your Google Classrooms and submit your work for your art assignments. We all know that the art assignments are due 6 days after the first day that we meet. So make sure that you're doing that and review all this information before class. That way, when you have a question, or if you have a question, I can use our time to go over your question and answer it. So Level 2, we're going to practice it. So that means you're just going to submit the art survey under the Google assignment where you see the coursework part. You're going to fill out the debrief and reflect form, and there is another link that you need to share the newsletter with people at home. I know last week I attached that in the second week, but if you haven't shared that yet or opened it up or checked it out, do so now. Let's go over Level 3. So Level 3, we're going to review the Artist of the Month. We're going to, next week, because this week's lesson plan and this week's playlist is combined with next week. So these are steps for next week. You do not have to do this yet, but next week we're going to complete an exit ticket about the artist that we study. And then you're going to fill out the debrief and reflect form on what helped me, rating yourself, reciting one thing you learned. So that's what we're going to be doing this week. And I hope to see you soon. I hope that this video is helpful, and I hope that you have a great and wonderful day. I'll see you soon, Rising Rams. Bye.